You're watching public television for Hampton Roads, WHRO-TV, Hampton, Norfolk. Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is It, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge.
This is the team from Cox. This is the team from Denby. They're here to meet the Tidewater Challenge. Now, here's your host, Ed Tillett.
Good evening and welcome to Tidewater Challenge. We want to welcome the squads from Cox and Denby High School. The first time Cox or any schools from Virginia Beach have participated in Tidewater Challenge this year. We'll meet that squad in just a moment. But as usual, we tossed a coin before the game to see who would go first. Denby won the toss and said, we want to go first, so let's introduce you to the team from Denby High School. Some familiar faces from last year. We'll begin on the inside. Leanne, if you will, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Leanne Urbanovich, and I'm a sophomore at Denby High School. My activities include playing the piano and involvement in the French Club, Social Studies Club, Kiets, and Model United Nations.
All right. Good to have you here, Leanne. John, welcome back. Remember you from last year.
My name is John McDonald. I'm a senior at Denby High School. I enjoy participation in Denby's Model United Nations, Model Congress, and forensics teams. And I hope to study foreign affairs at the University of Virginia next year.
All right. Good luck to you with your future plans and in tonight's game. Lance, welcome.
Hi, I'm Lance. I'm a junior at Denby High School, and I'm in the Science and Latin clubs. I also play golf, and I'd like to attend the United States Military Academy at West Point.
All right, good luck with those plans. And Francis?
Hey, my name is Francis Felipe. I'm a senior at Denby High School. I'm in the Social Studies Club, Science Club, and the Spanish Club, and I plan to go to the United States Coast Guard Academy.
All right, welcome. Francis, Lance, John, and Leanne. Let's get the game underway. Now, in the first round, there are no penalties. We'll meet the team from Cox in just a moment. We're going to get the game underway with Denby High School. 140 round. Of course, there are no penalties in this round, and you can confer with each other. Let's begin round one, and you see the anagram on your monitor as usual. 2 words, no nest. This phrase is for the birds. I didn't write it, Denby, but the letters can be rearranged to name what sort of verse form that is written in 14 lines.
Sonnet.
Sonnet is correct. Good for 20 points. Here's an antonym. Which 2 of these 4 words would best be paired as having opposite meanings?
Assist, desist, and persevere.
I'll take it. Good for 20 points. That's the correct answer. Desist and persevere are antonyms. Here's a chemical spelling. Combine them. Combine the chemical symbols for these elements to spell the last name of what American woman who won a Nobel Prize for Literature?
Buck.
That is correct. Pearl Buck, to be specific. Good for 20 points. Now here's your 2-parter. Good for 40 points total. These 2 men, one a magician and the other a writer, had little in common, but each became famous under a pseudonym. By what other names do we know them? First, Eric Weiss, and second, Eric Blair. We need an answer, please.
No answer.
No answer for either. Should have taken Leanne's. Houdini is correct for Eric Weiss. The second one, Eric Blair, is George Orwell. George Orwell. All right, no penalties, but no points, Denby. Next question, please. Choice. As hot as it is at the equator, you can still climb icy crags on which of these mountains located in Africa?
Mount Kenya.
Kenya is correct. Good for 20 points, Denby. And your last question. Quotation, a skilled and devious plotter and a spoiled child. The historian Charles Burke used these words to describe what colonial Indian chief who was called a king. His name was given to a war the Indians fought against New England colonists.
Philip.
That is correct, King Philip. King Philip's War, and that ends round 1 for Denby. All right, we'll be back with them in direct competition in just a moment. Now it's time to introduce you to Cox High School. Let's begin on the outside. Scott, if you will, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Scott Keeling. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Cox High School. I'm president of the SCA at Cox, and I'm also the vice chairman of the citywide SCA, and I plan to attend Princeton next fall.
All right, Scott. Good luck with your plans. Welcome. Colin, welcome.
I'm Colin Clark. I'm a senior at Cox High School. I'm co-captain of the debate team, and I'm also treasurer of the National Honor Society.
Good to have you here, Colin. Susan?
I'm Susan Wood. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Cox. I am second vice president of the SCA, and I play varsity softball. I'd like to attend Yale University next year.
Good luck with your plans and welcome. Ann Morrell.
I'm Merle Simmons. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Cox High School, and I am co-captain this year's debate team. I also enjoy participation in Model United Nations and Executive Council of SCA.
Good to have you here, Morrell. Susan, Collins, Scott, let's get the game underway. 140 points possible in the first round. No penalties. Team members may confer. Let's begin. You see your anagram on the monitor, Ruby Nectar. This phrase might suggest a juice obtained from jewels, but really the letters can be rearranged to name what English town whose great cathedral was the goal of Chaucer's pilgrims?
Canterbury.
Canterbury, good for 20 points. Correct answer. Here are your antonyms. Of these four words, which two are best described as opposite in meaning?
Copious and scarce.
Good for 20 points. Correct. Copious and scarce. Next, please. Combine the chemical symbols for these elements to spell the last name of what three British sisters who were all novelists?
Bronte.
Bronte sisters. Bronte is correct. Here is your two-part. Good for 40 points total. Before they ruled a united Spain or said goodbye Columbus, Ferdinand and Isabella were rulers of what two separate Spanish kingdoms?
Castile is one.
Which one?
For Ferdinand.
That is incorrect. You wish to give the other one a try?
Castillo for Isabella.
Why not? Why not? We'll give you 20 points for that. Aragon is correct for Ferdinand. All right, let's move on. Choice question. These three countries are not primarily Hispanic, but which one of them is located on the island of Hispaniola?
Haiti.
Haiti, good, for 20 points. Last question, your quotation, in a smoke-filled room. This famous description of political bosses at work was coined by Harry Dougherty, campaign manager for what Ohio Republican elected president in 1920?
Warren Harding.
That is correct, Warren G. Harding, and that ends round one for Cox and Denby High School. I think I got snaked on that one right there. We'll check that one in a few minutes. So let's look at the score. Cox High School has 120 points. Denby has 100 points. Now it's time for the visual round. And this round, correct answers are worth 10 points. Incorrect answers, we're going to subtract 10 points from the overall score. Team members, you are in direct competition, so no conferring in this round. We'll have 10 visual clues, and I'll ask a corresponding question. All right, remember, wait to be recognized by school and by name. Very important. Just be very patient. Wait for that judge in the studio to call your name and your school. Are you ready? Let's look at the first visual clue. The dairy needs of 240 million Americans are met by just 11 million milk cows. This is an unusually brown example of a standard breed that, like the Jersey cow, is named for one of the Channel Islands.
Cox, Morrell.
Heifer.
It is a Guernsey cow. This is a Guernsey cow. Next, question number 2. This bird's-eye view of a Second World War battle in the Pacific was painted by Mort Kunstler. The American ships were then under attack from what sort of Japanese suicide pilot?
Denby, John.
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze pilots whose names mean divine wind. The Austrian mineralogist Wolfen gave his name to this wolfenite, an aggregate of crystals that can form on what metallic element whose chemical symbol is Pb?
Denby, Lance.
Lead.
Lead is correct, Lance. Next, without using a negative exponent, simplify the expression on the monitor.
Cox, Colin.
1/9.
That is correct, 1/9, 1/9. Next, we journey to China, where you see the fabled Great Wall, which in the 13th century failed to keep out what invaders from the north?
Cox, Susan.
Mongolians?
That is correct, the Mongols or Tartars. On your monitor, you see Webb House, where George Washington planned the campaign leading to what final victory of the Revolutionary?
Denby, John.
Yorktown.
Yorktown, which took place in Virginia. Yorktown, correct answer. Question number 7. Choice question. This mysterious cave was a temple dedicated to what ancient Persian god who was especially worshipped by soldiers? Was he Apollo, Mithras, or Isis?
Denby, Lance.
Mithras.
Mithras is the correct answer. Good for 10 points. Question number 8. For more than a century, the lighthouse seen here has guided boats along the rocky coast of what northernmost New England state?
Denby, Leanne.
Maine.
Maine is the correct answer. Question number 9, please. Jefferson Davis is sworn in as President of the Confederate States. This inauguration took place in what first Confederate capital?
Danby, Francis.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama is correct. Capital city. Next we see a manuscript page by what American writer and humorist whose books include The Innocents Abroad and Pudd'nhead Wilson?
Danby, John.
Mark Twain.
That is correct. Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens, and that ends the visual round for both teams. Getting to questions in order now for the listening round. Let's check the scores. After 2 rounds of competition, it is Cox 130, Denby leading 170. Now, this is the oral round. In this round, we're going to provide a listening clue instead of a visual clue. Correct answers are worth 10 points. Team members may confer 2 questions for each team, provided on an alternating basis. Denby's going first, so if you will listen carefully. Leanne, John, Lance, and Francis, here is your first listening clue.
Wayward wind is a restless wind, a restless wind that yearns to wander, and I was born.
This Canadian native, Denby, has started his widespread fame as a member of the Buffalo Springfield. Known for his eclectic rock taste, this is what performer who is back with a new album of country sounds?
Neil Young.
Neil Young is the correct answer. Good for 10 points. Cox High School. Listen carefully. Here is your first listening clue.
Are there any more country families still working hand in hand, trying hard to stay together and make a stand? While a rose and a rose.
On his new album, Old Ways, Neil Young does a few duets with Waylon Jennings and what other legendary country king?
Willie Nelson.
Good for 10 points. Correct answer. Willie Nelson, instrumental in the recent Farm Aid concerts. All right. Denby, your last listening clue. Listen carefully. Denby, the title of this piece by Rodrigo, Concierto de Aranjuez, refers to a royal residence near the capital city of what country?
Spain.
Good for 10 points. Spain is the correct answer. Aranjuez, just about 30 miles outside Madrid. All right, Cox, your last listening clue. Listen carefully. Cox, this famous piece by Felix Mendelssohn, often used in cartoons, is one of his songs without words and depicts what season of the year which begins following the vernal equinox?
Spring.
Good for 10 points. Spring, and that ends a perfect listening round for both teams. All right, we're rolling now. We'll check the scores after halftime. We want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the coaches, the alternates, and learn something about the schools participating. We'll begin with a look at Cox High School.
Frank W. Cox High School opened in 1961 and in 1983 moved to a new $13 million facility. A strong and varied curriculum is offered to the 2,000 students. Principal Lottie B. Waters and the staff emphasize students developing leadership and responsibility. Upholding their winning tradition in sports, the Falcons have earned state titles in wrestling and field hockey. Strong academic programs, student leadership, competitive sports, and lasting friendships are highlighted by our ideal location at the beach.
Now, we would like to introduce the coach and faculty advisor for the Cox High School team, Mrs. Neola Waller. Thank you for your efforts, Mrs. Waller. I'd also like to recognize Deborah Holland, the Student Activities Director at Cox, who's helped with the team. Colin, if you would, introduce your alternates.
Okay, from my right we have Mike Davis, Matt Hayden, Beth Von Kolnitz, and Caddy Wood.
All right. Thank you, Cox. Now we turn our attention to Denby High School and introduce their coach and faculty advisor. Standing for the team, Mrs. Fran Topping. Also has another coach, Mr. Dale Hargrave. We want to thank him for his efforts. And John, if you would, introduce your alternates.
All right. To my right, we have Fred Jacob. And starting at his left is Matthew Keston and Seth Pilgrim.
All right. Thank you. We'll take a look at Denby High School, then back for the category round.
Denby High School, home of the Patriots, is located on the Virginia Peninsula in Newport News. Our principal, Mr. Stanley Lovett, is perhaps the most deserving of the credit for keeping Denby one of the foremost schools in our region. Academic achievement is seen from the many awards given to students, as well as in student participation in Model United Nations, Model Congress, essay, science and math contests, and language conventions. In addition to academics, Denby offers extracurricular activities ranging from sports, special interest clubs, band, Army ROTC, to a German exchange program. Through their academic excellence in myriad activities, Denby and its outstanding faculty maintain the Patriot tradition of preserving what is good from the past, yet looking toward the future with resourcefulness.
So we have it, Denby High School, Cox High School. Now it's time for the second half of competition. Let's check the scores. After 3 rounds, it is Cox 150 points, Denby 190, and it's time now for the category round. Teams in this round, I'm going to give you clues. We have 12 clues that I will read to you. You can also see them on the monitor, good for 10 points each. I'd like you to watch the monitor, listen to me, direct competition, wait to be recognized by school and by name. Now let me tell you what the category is. The category is walls. General Thomas Jackson is known to history as Stonewall. Oh, that's he's jumping right on it. Wait a minute. And there are many other places, characters, and events that are associated with walls. All right? I'm going to give you a clue. You give me an answer. Excuse me. Are you ready? Here we go. No conferring. Number 1, please. Biblical city whose walls fell to Joshua.
Cox, Morrell.
Jerusalem.
Jericho is the correct answer. Jericho, Morrell. Number 2. Rhyme character who fell from a wall.
Cox, Susan.
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty is correct. Susan. Number 3. Poe story in which Fortunato is walled up.
Cox, Susan.
Cask of Amontillado.
That is correct. The Cask of Amontillado. Number 4. Walled citadel in Moscow.
Cox, Susan.
The Kremlin.
Kremlin is correct. Susan. Number 5. A shy person at a dance.
Cox, Susan.
Wallflower.
Wallflower is correct. Susan. Number 6. Ancient British wall named for Roman ruler.
Denby, John.
Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall is the correct answer. Number 7. Rock group with record and film, The Wall.
Denby, Lance.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd is correct. Number 8. Achilles dragged his body around the walls of Troy.
Cox, Colin.
Priam.
Hector is the correct answer. Hector. Number 9. City where you can visit the Wailing Wall.
Denby, John.
Jerusalem.
There you go, Morrell. Jerusalem. Number 10. School competition, Latin for between walls.
Cox, Scott.
Intramural.
That is correct. Intramural. Number 11. Only walled city in Canada.
Denby, Lance.
Quebec.
Quebec is the correct answer. Lance. And number 12. Baseball stadium with wall called...
Cox, Morrell.
Fenway Park.
That is correct. In Boston, the Green Monster. And that ends the category round of walls. Getting ready for round 5. Let's check the scores. After 4 rounds of competition, Cox 190, Denby not far ahead, 230 points. Now it's time for the all-important round 5. Possibility in this round of 225 points. It's very important. 2 minutes total to answer all 10 questions. If all 10 are answered correctly at 20 points apiece, they get a 25-point bonus. Also in this round, for the first time, team members may decide to pass a question. In doing so, we'll subtract 10 from this score, give the opposing team the opportunity to answer. Now, since Denby is going first, Colin, as captain of the Cox squad, pick a packet of questions, 1, 2, or 3 for them, please.
2.
Number 2 for Leanne, John, Lance, and Francis. Remember, 2 minutes total to answer the questions. Are you ready? You see the clock on your monitor? Let's begin. You may, of course, confer. The constellation Camelopard is named not for a camel or a leopard, but for what tallest living quadruped noted for its long neck?
Giraffe.
Giraffe, Camelopard, correct. As he flew through the air with the greatest of ease, the Greek god Helios was not on a trapeze, but in what golden vehicle that swings low in the old
Chariot.
Chariot is correct. Had fiction's Madame Bovary wanted to call on Don Quixote, she'd have had to cross what large mountain chain that separates France from Spain?
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees is correct. If our football team won 1/3 of the games it played and lost 10 games, how many games were played in all?
15.
15 is correct. Choice question. Taxes are the price we pay for a civilized society. Are the words inscribed on what federal building? Archives, Internal Revenue Service, or Interior Department?
Internal Revenue.
That is correct. Internal Revenue. Taxes, weather extremes didn't bother Ernest Hemingway, whose works range from The Sun Also Rises to the snows of what high African mountain?
Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro is correct. Choice question: a scientist would use a bathysphere to explore the stratosphere, the lithosphere, or the hydrosphere.
Hydrosphere.
Hydrosphere is correct. If 60 feet of fence is needed to enclose a rectangular garden, and the width is to be 6 feet, what is the length of the garden?
10 feet.
24 feet is the correct answer. The northernmost town in the world is Eta, located on what large Danish-owned island where the United States built a large air base at Thule?
Greenland.
Greenland is correct. 2 years after he pushed annexation of the Fiji Islands, what British Prime Minister moved on to bigger things by proclaiming Queen Victoria Empress of India?
Disraeli.
Benjamin Disraeli is correct. 13 seconds to go, and they only missed one. Not a bad round 5 for Denby High School. 24 feet was the correct answer. All right, now, Denby, if you would pick a packet of questions, John, 1 or 3 for Cox High School. Hello, John. All right. Here we go. Working out the last problem they were. 2 minutes total, Cox. You may confer. Are you ready? Let's begin. Confederate General George Pickett might have selected Don't Fence Me In for his theme song as he made his charge on what famous Pennsylvania battlefield?
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg is correct. According to Confucius, he who exercises government by means of his virtue may be compared to what star sometimes called Polaris?
The Northern Star?
North Star is correct. John Paul Jones continued to fight when, in 1788, he was made an admiral in the Russian Navy by what empress called the Great?
Catherine.
Catherine is correct. How many millions are there in 1 billion?
1,000.
1,000 is correct. Dollar magazine rather outdid itself in 1843 when it awarded $100 to what author for his story about a gold bug?
Pass.
Pass, down 10. Claiming that sluggishness resulting from long tenure outweighed the gains of experience, Andrew Jackson backed what system of political patronage with a rotten-sounding name?
The spoil system.
Spoil system is correct. Choice. Sunspots show up as dark areas on the surface of the sun because the dark areas are hotter, cooler, or the same temperature as their surroundings.
Hotter.
Cooler is the correct answer. If the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle contains 48 degrees, each base angle then contains how many degrees?
$66.
66 is correct. Choice. In both Hamlet and Macbeth, Shakespeare begins the play with which of the following? A statement, a question, or a command?
Question.
Question is correct. The cacophony of a dentist's drill was the way Stalin's Minister of Culture described the music of what Russian composer of Peter and the Wolf?
Tchaikovsky.
That is incorrect. Prokofiev. Serge Prokofiev. Incorrect answer. We had one pass question. Denby, do you wish to give it a try?
Yes, would. Number 5 is Edgar Allan Poe.
That is correct. The gold bug. Poe good for 20 points, and that ends round 5 for both teams. All right, still a close match going into the final and grab bag round. Let's quickly check the scores. The scores are Cox, 300 points, Denby, 390 points, and it is time for round 6, the grab bag round. In this round, correct answers are worth 20 points, incorrect answers down 20 points. No conferring. Team members must be recognized by school and by name. Take a deep breath and let's get underway. You ready? Here we go. Excuse me. Colleges occasionally close because they lack students. But what college with no students would close if a constitutional amendment?
Danby, Leanne.
Electoral College?
That is correct. Provided for the direct election of president, Electoral College. It took a lot of architectural knack to build the temple at Karnak, an ancient monument in what Middle Eastern country where modern engineering created the Aswan Dam?
Danby, John.
Egypt.
Egypt is the correct answer. Every November we observe what is now called Veterans Day. But this federal holiday
Danby, Lance.
Armistice Day.
was originally called the Armistice Day, is correct. 100 years ago, some English gentlemen staged the first races between a mechanical rabbit and what fast breed of dog?
Cox, Susan.
Greyhound?
Greyhound is correct, Susan. Lucretia Mott and Elizabeth Cady Stanton carried on the battle for what democratic right now guaranteed?
Danby, Lance.
Suffrage.
That is right, the right to vote by the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage. While Saratoga was the turning point in the Revolutionary War, what naval victory in Cuba, that also began with the letter S, helped break Spanish power in 1898? Time. Santiago is the correct answer. Santiago. Next, a man finds himself in a broad, flat expanse of land. He walks 5 miles southward and then 12 miles westward. How far is he from his starting point?
Cox, Morel.
13 miles.
13 miles is correct, Morel. The poet Shelley died in what he called the paradise of exiles. What Mediterranean country whose own famous exiles have included Enrico Fermi and Garibaldi? No conferring, please. Time. Italy is the correct answer. Italy. The word port comes at the beginning of the name of New England's city of Portland, Maine, but it ends the name of what Rhode Island city, noted for its
Cox, Colin.
Newport.
Newport. Splendid mansions and jazz festival is correct. His troops adored Napoleon, but Napoleon himself admired what Macedonian who conquered the known world?
Cox, Morel.
Alexander the Great.
That is correct. By the time he was 30, Alexander the Great. There may be lots of puppy love in the world, but there was little love lost between poetry's gingham dog and a cat made of what type of cotton cloth?
Cox, Scott.
Calico.
Calico cat is correct, Scott. What integer lies midway between -1 and +3?
Danby, Lance.
1.
1 is correct, Lance. In 1900, a Chinese society, the Order of the Righteous Harmonious Fists, campaigned to rid China of all foreigners.
Cox, Colin.
The Boxer Rebellion.
That is correct. What fighter-like nickname? Boxer Rebellion. Choice. The minute dots on the leaf scars of a twig that indicate the previous location of the conducting vessels are called bundle scars, bud scale scars, or stomata.
Cox, Scott.
Stomata.
Bundle scars, the correct answer, Scott. If a Marine actually traveled from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, he'd go from Mexico to what North African?
Cox, Morel.
Libya.
Libya. State headed by Colonel Gaddafi is the correct answer. Which of the 3 ships sailing with Columbus on his first voyage to the New World was the smallest and had the shortest name?
Danby, John.
Nina is correct. An odometer records 1 1/4 miles for each mile driven. What percentage over the true mileage is recorded?
Danby, Lance.
25.
25% is correct. Choice. The following bones, mastoid, temporal, sphenoid, and frontal, belong to what part of the body?
Cox, Susan.
Skull.
Skull is correct. Which of the following early scientists contributed greatly to the modern microscope by developing the first lenses?
Danby, Lance.
Leeuwenhoek.
Pasteur Leeuwenhoek or Jenner Leeuwenhoek is the correct answer. To a science fiction buff, the initials JV don't mean junior varsity, but indicate what writer of 20,000 Leagues?
Cox, Colin.
Have to wait to be recognized. Jules Verne is the correct answer. Colin, we can't accept it. You have to be recognized by school and by name. Michelangelo, who had the word angel in his name, painted several angels on the ceiling of what famous...
Danby, Lance.
The Sistine Chapel.
What famous Vatican chapel? Sistine is the correct answer. That's the end of the game. Time is up. While our judges are verifying and tabulating the final score, I would like to remind you that next week on Tidewater Challenge, it will be reigning champions Poquoson High School against Portsmouth Catholic High School.
Scholarship funds for Tidewater Challenge are provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, Virginia Beach and Norfolk's largest independent bank with 7 convenient locations. Our children and our community are our greatest concern.
And Don, do we have a verification of the final score?
I think finally we do, Ed.
All right, and the
correct.
final score is Cox High School 400 points, Denby High School 590 points. Good game. Cox High School, of course, got the Tidewater Challenge by going to Old Dominion University back in September, the 1st of September, competing with a lot of schools then in the written competition, got to the first round, and of course were eliminated by Denby High School. A round of applause for Cox High School. It's good to have some participation from Virginia Beach this year. Thanks so much. Good luck with all of your future plans, and I hope to see some of you back next year. Now we turn to Denby High School and say you are advancing to second round competition. You've picked up some scholarship money for the school as provided by Bank of the Commonwealth. We want to thank them again for that, and we will see you back in a couple of months with second round competition. So congratulations. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Again, Poquoson, don't forget, reigning champs. Should be an exciting game. Now come on down and congratulate the players.
Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is it, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge. Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is it, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge.
This is the team from Denby, and this is the team from Norview. They're here to meet the Tidewater Challenge. Now, here's your host, Ed Tillett.
Good evening. Welcome to Tidewater Challenge, and we'd like to welcome the squads from Denby High School and from Norview High School. As usual, we tossed a coin before the game to see who would go first. Denby won the toss and elected to go first, so let's meet the team again from Denby since they won in first-round competition. That's why they're here tonight. Leanne, if you would, reintroduce yourself to us, please.
Hi, my name is Leanne Urbanovich, and I'm a sophomore at Denby High School. My interests include playing the piano and participation in the French Club, Social Studies Club, and Kiets.
Good to have you here, Leanne. Welcome back. John, welcome back.
Hi, Ed. My name's John McDonald. I'm a senior at Denby High School. In addition to Tidewater Challenge, I participate in the Model UN and forensics teams. I'm also the vice president of the National Honor Society at Denby, and I hope to study foreign affairs at University of Virginia next year.
All right, good luck with those plans next year, John. Lance, welcome back.
Hi, Ed. I'm a junior at Denby High School. My name's Lance. I'm in the Science Club, the Key Club, the Social Studies Club, and the Latin Club. I play golf, and I'd like to attend West Point and study aeronautical engineering.
Good luck with those plans. Francis, welcome back.
My name is Francis Felipe, and I'm a senior at Denby High School. I'm in the Social Studies Club, the Science Club, and I'm in Who's Who in American High School Students. Next year, I plan to attend United States Coast Guard Academy at New London, Connecticut.
New London, Connecticut. All right, Francis, great. Good to have you here. Lance, John, Leanne, we'll meet the team from Norview High School in just a minute, but let's get the game underway with Denby's questions. 6 questions to begin the round. Possibility of 140 points in the first round. We have 1 two-parter, and of course you may confer. No penalties in this round. 20 points for correct answers. Are you ready? Let's begin. Look at your monitor for this anagram. 3 words, a used film. Rearrange the letters in this anagram. To get what medieval social structure that used serfs?
Feudalism.
That is the correct answer, feudalism. Next, please, what one letter inserted in this word will change it from one meaning a kind of medicine into a word naming a person under a doctor's care?
I.
That is the correct answer, I, for the word patient. Next, please. You can blunt the cutting edge of this puzzle by filling in the blanks to name what ill-fated emperor of Mexico, a Habsburg prince, who was executed by the forces of Juarez in 1867.
Maximilian.
That is the correct answer, Maximilian, filling in the blanks. Here's your two-parter, good for 40 points total, 20 points each part. Fill in the blanks here with what 2 words to name first the Greek sorceress who turned men into swine. That's the first answer. And the Roman goddess concerned with fruits, vegetables, and grain, second answer.
First one is Circe.
That is the correct answer.
Second one is Ceres.
That is the correct answer. Circe and Ceres, good for 40 points, Denby. Next question, missing vowels. Giving only these consonants as clues, an FBI agent would figure it out. By adding vowels here, he could produce the last name of what former director of his agency?
Hoover.
Herbert Hoover, the correct answer. No, J. Edgar Hoover. What am I talking about? Next, please. Last question, just testing you, Denby. Ah, stay, thou art so fair. According to the German poet Goethe, these were the last words of what legendary man who sold his soul to Mephistopheles in exchange for youth, power, and worldly experience?
Faust.
Faust, the correct answer. Good for 20 points. Ends a perfect round for Denby High School. Boy, made that in short order. I better slow down a little bit. Let's meet the team from Norview High School. We'll get their round underway in just a second. Beginning on the inside, Robert, if you would, introduce yourself.
I'm Robert Colarina, a 17-year-old senior at Norview High School. This fall, I plan to attend UVA or UCLA to major in financial management.
All right, good to have you here, Robert. Shannon, if you would, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Shannon Walsh, and I'm a 16-year-old junior at Norview High School. I'm involved in many extracurricular activities, besides being captain of the Tidewater Challenge team. I intend to attend West Point and study veterinary medicine.
All right, good luck with this plan, Shannon. Welcome. David.
Hi, I'm David Strickland, a 17-year-old senior from Norview. I participate in a dozen or so activities after school, and I plan to go to the Air Force Academy to study aerospace engineering.
All right, David, good to have you here. Alan.
Hi, my name is Alan Esposo, and I intend to pursue a career in medicine upon graduation.
All right, Alan, David, Shannon, and Robert, are you ready? Let's get the game underway for Norview. Get some points on the board. 140 points possibility. 6 questions in this round. Are you ready? 20 points, no penalties. Look at the monitor, please. By rearranging the letters in this phrase, Norview, you can name what sort of economic ism, a system of international trade that was promoted in Europe from 1500 to 1800.
Mercantilism? Mercantilism.
The correct answer, mercantilism, good for 20 points. Next question, your missing letter. To change this liquid measure to the name for a large 16th century Spanish sailing ship, what one letter would you insert?
E.
E for the word galleon, the correct answer. This is a single. You see here the French word for water, which appropriately comes at the end of the last name of what French underwater specialist who invented the aqualung?
Cousteau.
That is the correct answer. Jacques Cousteau. He's known for his television specials. Next, here's your two-part, good for 40 points, 20 points each part. For two of the beautiful people of mythology, you'll fill in the blank spaces here to name what first Greek god of the sun, and second, what handsome youth loved by Aphrodite and Persephone.
First is Apollo.
That is the correct answer.
Second, no answer.
No answer. Apollo is the correct answer. Adonis for the second. Adonis. No penalties, 20 points on that question. Are you ready, Norview? Question number 5. These letters might represent the Syrian Social Democrat Party, but really by filling in the missing vowels, you can name what president of Syria who in fact heads the Ba'ath Party.
A. Assad.
That is the correct answer. Assad. A-S-S-A-D. Assad. Hafez Assad. Question number 6. Put that bloody cigarette out. It may sound like a health warning. In fact, it is. But this was the last recorded statement of what English writer killed in the First World War who used the pen name Saki?
No answer.
No answer. H.H. Monroe. Another soldier's cigarette attracted enemy gunfire and he was killed. That ends round 1 for Norview. All right, let's check the scores quickly. Denby High School has 140 points, Norview High School 100 points, and it's time now for the visual round. In this round, correct answers are worth 10 points. Incorrect answers, we're going to subtract 10 points from the score. I have 10 visual clues that will be shown on the monitor and on your television set. I will ask the accompanying questions. Team members, you're in direct competition, so remember, when you push that button, wait to be recognized by school and by name to make sure you're the person pushing the button, and of course, no conferring. Are you ready? Direct competition, let's begin. First visual clue, please, Bruce. Although residents of Grenada became acquainted with U.S. Army Rangers, this stamp from Grenada honors what other U.S. military...
Denby, Lance.
Iwo Jima.
What other U.S. military branch that raised the flag on Iwo Jima in 1945? It honors the Marines is the correct answer. Minus 10, Denby. Next, please. Bananas are the most important fruit crop of the tropics. Although mistakenly called a tree, the banana plant is actually what sort of non-woody plant?
Norview, David.
Bush. Such as rosemary or parsley. It's an herb. Get that? An herbaceous plant. Banana tree is an herb. Next question, please. Here is a stylized portrait of what state bird of Maryland? A bird that also names...
Denby, Francis.
Oriole.
That is the correct answer. That names the winning team of the '83 baseball series. That's right. Oriole. Next. Angles A, B, C are in the ratio of 3 to 5 to 2. How many degrees is angle C?
Denby, Lance.
18 degrees.
36, Lance. 36 degrees. With wings that resemble electric fans, this Mariner 2 was the first interplanetary probe to reach what planet? The second?
Norview, Robert.
Mars.
The second from the sun, Venus is the correct answer. Venus. Next question, please. In this dramatic painting, American artist Mort Kunstler shows us an 1880s raiding party of Indians from what tribe, then led by Cochise and Geronimo?
Denby, John.
Apache.
That is the correct answer, the Apache tribe. Next, please. This Japanese poster of 1905 celebrated Nippon's victory in the Russo-Japanese War. A conflict ended with what treaty? Named for an American city.
Denby, Francis.
Portsmouth.
That is the correct answer, Treaty of Portsmouth, named for a sister city locally. Although this key deer is native to Florida, its favored food is the greenery of what tree that nicknames the state of South Carolina?
Norview, David.
Palmetto.
That is the correct answer. Palmetto tree. The Palmetto State is in South Carolina. The history of pajamas is cloaked in mystery. But we know the word pajama originated in what country, where the god Shiva is often portrayed?
Norview, Shannon.
Persia.
India, sleeping under the foot of the goddess Kali, Shiva, India. Next, please, question number 10. This painting depicts what 16th century czar, Russian czar, who built St. Basil's Cathedral of...
Denby, Leanne.
Ivan the Terrible.
That is the correct answer, and then had the architect blinded. That is Ivan the Terrible, and that ends the visual round. Now let's check the scores. Denby High School, 160 points. Norview, 80 points. We have a long way to go, and now it's time for the listening round. In this round, correct answers again are worth 10 points, just as they were in the visual round. Except in this round, we only have 2 questions for each team. We're going to provide a listening clue or an oral clue, provide the questions on an alternating basis. Team members, of course, may confer. Denby High School, are you ready? Let's begin. First listening clue, listen carefully. Screen actor and explosive singer with The Who. This is what golden boy of rock who has a new solo record album entitled Under a Raging Moon?
Roger Daltrey.
Roger Daltrey. You knew that right away, didn't you? All right, if you're so smart, who's Roger Daltrey's third cousin on his mother's side?
Come on, Lance, you know.
Is it you, Ed?
You got it. No, I'm kidding. All right. Next, Norview, this is your first listening clue. Listen carefully. Her famous husband was shot in front of the Dakota Apartments, but rather than fading from sight, this is what former conceptual artist who has a new solo album called Star Piece?
Yoko Ono.
The correct answer, good for 10 points, Norview. Yoko Ono. Denby High School, your last listening clue. Listen carefully. Denby, Rhapsody in Blue, George Gershwin's American classic composition, was used effectively as the basis for the soundtrack of the film Manhattan. By what comedian turned actor-director of such other films as Zelig and Annie Hall?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, the correct answer, good for 10 points. And Norview, your last listening clue, listen carefully.
People who need people.
Norview, Funny Girl, a film based on the life of Fanny Brice, gave what singer-actress an opportunity to sing People and other songs by Julie Stein or Jewel Stein and Bob Merrill?
Barbara Streisand.
The correct answer, good for 10 points, Shannon, and that ends the listening round for both teams. We'll move on to the category round in just a moment, but let's take an opportunity to meet the coaches, the alternates, learn something about the schools participating in Tidewater Challenge tonight. We'll begin with a look at Denby High School.
Denby High School, home of the Patriots, is located on the Virginia Peninsula in Newport News. Our principal, Mr. Stanley Lovett, is perhaps the most deserving of the credit for keeping Denby one of the foremost schools in our region. Academic achievement is seen from the many awards given to students, as well as in student participation in Model United Nations, Model Congress, essay, science and math contests, and language conventions. In addition to academics, Denby offers extracurricular activities ranging from sports, special interest clubs, band, Army ROTC, to a German exchange program. Through their academic excellence in myriad activities, Denby and its outstanding faculty maintain the Patriot tradition of preserving what is good from the past, yet looking toward the future with resourcefulness.
Now let's introduce you to the coach, one of the coaches standing for the team today, Mr. Dale Hargrave. Of course, Fran Topping is the other coach. Thank you very much for your efforts, Mr. Hargrave, Ms. Topping. And John, if you would introduce your alternates, please.
All right. To my right is Fred Jacobs. To the left is Matthew Keston. Got it right. And Seth Pilgrim.
All right. Thank you very much. Now let's take a look at Norview High School. We'll begin with their coach and faculty advisor. Standing for Barbara Washburn today is Lena Chambliss. Thank you very much for your efforts, Ms. Chambliss. The team. Shannon, if you would introduce your alternates, please.
Stephen Caja, Zoe Campo, Richard Ball, and Charles Davis.
All
and
right.
also I'd like to mention Mimi Calarina.
All right. Thank you very much, Shannon. Now let's take a look at Norview High School. Then we'll be back for the category round, round 4.
Norview High School is located in the Tanners Creek District on Medicine Place and has prepared many graduates for successful futures. Norview has approximately 2,000 students and 150 staff members. The students are encouraged to be good citizens, to participate in school activities, to prepare for modern technology, to understand living things, and to relate to science as well as liberal arts. Norview's principal, Mr. Sawyer, believes that students can achieve success and will do so at Norview.
There's halftime. Now let's get back to the action. From the first half, it is Denby High School. The scores are 180, Norview 100. Time now for the category round teams. Now in this round, we have a possibility of 120 points. Also the possibility of a negative 120 because we'll take 10 off for each incorrect answer. You're in direct competition. Keep that in mind. No conferring. I'll set up the category round now. You know that I'll read the clue to you. You can also see it on your monitor. Although an old rhyme tells us that Wednesday's child is full of woe, that's not true of all the following persons, each of whom was born on a Wednesday. I want you to name the following Wednesday babies from the clues that I'm going to read you. You can also read them on the monitor. Remember, direct competition, no conferring. Let's begin. Number 1, please. First woman on U.S. Supreme Court.
Excuse me. Norview Shannon.
Sandra Day O'Connor.
The correct answer, Sandra Day O'Connor Shannon. Number 2, author of The Catcher in the Rye.
Norview Shannon.
J.D. Salinger.
J.D. Salinger, the correct answer. Number 3, president of Chrysler Corporation since 1978.
Norview Robert.
Iacocca.
We've got a tie there. We'll have to check with that in just a moment. Iacocca is the correct answer, Robert. Number 4, basketball player called Dr. J.
Norview Robert.
Julius Irving.
Julius Irving, the correct answer. Number 5, current Secretary of Transportation.
Norview Shannon.
Elizabeth Dole.
Elizabeth Dole, the correct answer. Number 6, led Operation Push, ran for president, 1984.
Norview Shannon.
Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson, the correct answer. Number 7, wrote The Cat in the Hat for children.
Denby Leanne.
Dr. Zeus.
Dr. Zeus, the correct answer. Number 8, current U.S. Attorney General.
Norview Robert.
Meese.
Edwin Meese, the correct answer. Number 9, lead singer of the Rolling Stones.
Denby Lance.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger, the correct answer. Number 10, U.S. Senator from New Jersey.
Norview Shannon.
Bill Bradley.
Bill Bradley, the correct answer. Number 11, Democratic presidential nominee in
Norview
1972.
Shannon.
George McGovern.
McGovern, the correct answer. Number 12, Russian dancer heads American Ballet Theater.
Norview Robert.
Baryshnikov.
Mikhail Baryshnikov, the correct answer, and that ends the category round. Fast round. Fast round indeed. We'll check that tie in just a few minutes. That's what we do at the end of the game, just to make sure all is correct, but let's check the scores now. The way it stands after that round is Denby 200 points, Norview 200, staging comeback time now for round 5. Now, in round 5, correct answers are worth 20 points. Incorrect, you can stop pushing your buttons now. Incorrect answers are worth 20 points. Or incorrect answers will subtract 20. Correct answers are worth 20. In this round, team members may not, or may confer. I was going to say you can pass a question in this round. If you do pass a question to the opposing team, it's minus 10 points. All 10 answered correctly, good for a 25-point bonus. Now, all 10 questions, 2 minutes. Since Denby is going first, I'll have Shannon pick a packet of questions, 1, 2, or 3 for them.
Number 1.
Number 1 for Leanne, John, Lance, and Francis. Are you ready, team? Of course, you may confer in this round. Let's begin. Readers might hope to find a literary pot of gold at the end of The Last Rainbow, Park Godwin's recent novel about what patron saint of Ireland?
St. Patrick.
The correct answer, St. Patrick. While measles is associated with the color red, what was the color of the fever associated with Walter Reed and W.C. Gorgas?
Yellow.
Yellow fever, the correct answer. Choice question. According to the Constitution, which of the following must originate in the House of Representatives? Moves to amend the Constitution, housing legislation, or tax bills?
Tax bills.
Tax bills, the correct answer. What trigonometric function is defined as the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse in a right triangle?
Cosine.
Cosine, the correct answer. In a speech before the U.S. Congress, Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi mentioned what British general who had become governor of India 5 years after surrendering at Yorktown?
Cornwallis.
Cornwallis, the correct answer. Which of the following gases is collected in the laboratory by displacement of water? Ammonia, chlorine, or nitric acid? Nitric oxide, I'm sorry.
Nitric oxide.
The correct answer, nitric oxide. Gibbon Falls are located in Yellowstone National Park, but Ribbon Falls are in what Y-initialed park of California?
Yosemite.
That is the correct answer, Yosemite. What is the simple interest on $300 at 5% for 5 years?
$75.
That's the correct answer. At the turn of the century, the Kentucky actress Elizabeth Robbins was the toast of London theaters, where she appeared in such plays as Hedda Gabler and A Doll's House by what Norwegian dramatist?
Henrik Ibsen.
That is the correct answer. Had St. Bede turned his historical eye from England to the continent, he would have recorded the region of what contemporary Frankish king who won the Battle of Tours?
Charles Martel.
The correct answer. All 10 are correct. Good for a 25-point bonus. Denby. All right, the pressure is on. The pressure is on. John, packet 2 or 3 for Norview?
3, please.
Packet 3. 2 minutes total to answer all 10 questions. All 10 answered correctly. Good for a 25-point bonus. So you ready, Norview? Let's begin. Because it joined the Union a century after the Declaration of Independence, the nickname Centennial State was given to what home state of the football Broncos?
Denver. Colorado.
I'll have to take Denver, I'm sorry. Colorado is the correct answer. To judge by his nickname, France's King Louis XIV enjoyed the favor of what celestial body that wasn't supposed to set on the British Empire?
Sun.
Sun is the correct answer. A century ago in Illinois, a deacon invented an ice cream concoction called a sundae, because what colorful restrictive laws forbade the sale of sodas on that day?
The blue law.
That's the correct answer, blue laws. Math. At a page every 3 minutes, how many hours will it take to read an 80-page book?
Six.
4 hours. A man named Brown achieved immortality when he filed the landmark school desegregation case against the Topeka School Board in what state?
Kansas.
Kansas, the correct answer. When Franklin D. Roosevelt enunciated his famous policy towards Latin America, he gave it what name that a Robert Frost character associated with good fences?
Pass.
Pass, down 10. Which of the following electromagnetic waves has the shortest wavelength? X-rays, ultraviolet rays, or infrared rays?
Infrared.
X-rays, X-rays. The tangent of an angle is 1. If the cosine of the same angle is positive, what is the measure of the angle in degrees?
45 degrees.
45, the correct answer. If you wanted to talk to a monster, which one of the following could carry on a conversation? King Kong, Cerberus, or Caliban?
Caliban.
Caliban, the correct answer. At a funeral oration during the Peloponnesian War, you might have listened to what Athenian statesman whose name appears in a Shakespeare title beside the words Prince of Tyre? Answer or pass?
Taurus.
Incorrect answer. Pericles was the correct answer. Pericles. All right, Denby, one pass question. Do you wish to give it a try?
No.
Okay, it was the good neighbor policy. Good neighbor policy. Good fences, good neighbor policy. And that ends round 5 for both teams. Sorry I had to take that first answer, but you know the rules. Colorado, of course, was the correct answer, but you said Denver. I know Broncos threw you. Okay, it's time now for round 6. Let's quickly check the scores. Long way to go, though. We've got 20 points up or down in this round. Denby has 425, Norview 210. Is that the correct score, scorekeeper? Okay. Now, in this round, correct answers are worth 20 points, incorrect down 20. No conferring. You're in direct competition, so keep that in mind. You'll hear this sound to signify the end of the game. If you've locked your light in, you have to answer the question. 25 questions. If we get them all, if there's only 25 in this round, if we complete those before time is up, that's the end of the game. Are you ready? Let's begin. If astronaut Neil Armstrong had a baby girl, he might want to name her Diana after the Greek
Denby John.
Moon. Representing what heavenly body? Moon, the correct answer. William Penn arrived at America's door on a ship with what name that today is found on many a doormat?
Norview David.
Welcome.
Welcome, of course. Some brides threatened to go home to mother, but what first wife of Henry VIII refused?
Denby Leanne.
Catherine of Aragon.
That is the correct answer, to go home to Aragon. Catherine, the name of the Titan Cronus, was the Greek word for what universal quality?
Denby Lance.
Time.
Time, along with tide, is said to wait for no man. Robert E. Lee's father was Henry Lee, whose two-word nickname mentions what animal?
Norview Shannon.
Lightfoot.
Whose breed included traveler. Horse, light horse, hairy horse was the answer I was looking for, I'm sorry. A triangle with sides 8, 15, and 17 inches is inscribed in a semicircle. What is the radius of the semicircle?
Denby Lance.
8.5.
8.5, you got it, Lance. Good. Federalists were frightened by the French Revolution and in 1798 tried to eliminate foreign influences by passing what restrictive acts? Time. Alien and Sedition Acts. Alien and Sedition. Before he became president in 1841, what man served the shortest term as vice president?
Denby Francis.
John Tyler.
That is the correct answer. John Tyler, just 31 days. Though he spent much of his life outdoors exploring the Mississippi, what French explorer had a very indoorsy name, meaning the room in French?
Norview Shannon.
Joliet.
LaSalle. LaSalle is the correct answer. The Greek muse of history had what same name as that of Geppetto's pet goldfish in Pinocchio? Time. Cleo. Geppetto's goldfish was Cleo. No conferring, please. 3 poets from Maine have won Pulitzer Poetry Prizes, including what author of Miniver Cheevy?
Denby Leanne.
E.A. Robinson.
That is the correct answer. He won it 3 different times. Batavia was the old Dutch name for what colonial city, now the capital of an independent Indonesia?
Denby Leanne.
Jakarta.
Jakarta, the correct answer. Choice question. A person who has had his gallbladder removed may be expected to have some difficulty in his absorption of minerals, digestion of fats, or storage of glycogen.
Norview David.
Storage of glycogen.
Digestion of fats, the correct answer. 2 favorite Texas sons named Sam were General Sam Houston and what Miss...
Norview Shannon.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Rayburn. What Mr. Sam, who served as Speaker of the House of Representatives? Edith Wharton wrote about a house of mirth, but what more gloomy house titles a massive novel by Charles Dickens?
Denby Leanne.
Bleak House.
Bleak House, the correct answer. Chief among the so-called Latin fathers of the Catholic Church was what Bishop of Hippo, for whom Florida's first and oldest city was named?
Norview Shannon.
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, the correct answer. Choice question. Aqueous solutions of sodium carbonate give acid, basic, or neutral reactions toward litmus?
Norview Robert.
Basic.
Basic, the correct answer. Herblock signs his name on his cartoons. John Block signs papers emanating from what cabinet department?
Norview David.
Agriculture.
Agriculture, the correct answer. After 1801, Russia had 5 czars. 2 were named Nicholas. By what same name were the other?
Norview David.
Ivan.
Alexander. Alexander was the correct answer. What same simple musical instrument appears in the title of a John Hersey novel set in Italy and a Hemingway novel set in Spain during the Spanish Civil War?
Norview Robert.
Guitar.
Bell. A bell for a Madonna for whom the bell tolls, and that ends the game. That's the spirit of Tidewater Challenge. Go for it. Go for it. While our judges are making sure that scores are correct, we had some questions earlier in the game. We're going to check that out. I'd like to remind you that next time on Tidewater Challenge, it will be Poquoson High School versus Smithfield High School.
Scholarship funds for Tidewater Challenge are provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, Virginia Beach and Norfolk's largest independent bank with 7 convenient locations. Our children and our community are our greatest concern.
Don, do we have a verification of the score? And did we get that?
It is correct.
That tie situation correct, squared away?
Yes, sir.
All right. Final score for this round of Tidewater Challenge is Norview 170 points, Denby 585 points. We'll see how the game can go. I mean, we were tied coming out of the category round, and 2 rounds later, you see the point spread difference. But we want to congratulate Norview for playing such a very good game. Very good game. Way to go, Norview. We hope to see a team back. You won't be back next year, Robert, and you won't be back, David, but I think we'll see Shannon, right? Shannon speaks up. That's what we need. We need him to speak up. Thanks a lot. All right. Congratulations, Norview. Turn our attention to Denby and say, of course, you're advancing to 3rd round competitions. Congratulations on your victory this evening. And we'll see you back very soon as we continue to move toward the championship. Keep studying. Good luck. From all of us at WHRO, thanks for watching. Good night. Now come on down and congratulate the players.
Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is It, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge. Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is It, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge.
This is the team from Denby. And this is the team from Lafayette. They're here to meet the Tidewater Challenge. And here's your host, Ed Tillett.
Good evening and welcome to Tidewater Challenge. We indeed want to welcome the squad from Denby High School and from Lafayette High School as we continue with third round competition of the 1985-86 Tidewater Challenge, our fourth year. One team will emerge tonight moving on to fourth round competition. The championship games aren't far away. Let's introduce you to the team from Denby High School since they won the toss of the coin and elected to go first. Leanne, if you would, introduce yourself again. We've seen you several times. Good to have you back.
Hi, my name is Leanne, and I'm a sophomore at Denby High School. My interests include playing the piano and participation in the French Club, Social Studies Club, and Kiettes.
All right, Leanne, good to have you here. John, welcome back, sir.
My name is John McDonald. I'm a senior at Denby High School. I participate in the Model United Nations, Social Studies Club, and I'm vice president of the National Honor Society at Denby. I hope to study foreign affairs at the University of Virginia next year.
All right, John, good luck with those plans. Lance, welcome back, sir.
Hi, Ed. My name's Lance, and I'd like to attend West Point and get a degree in chemical engineering or aerospace engineering. Currently, I'm in the Social Studies Club, Key Club, Latin Club, and Science Club at Denby High School, and I play golf.
All right, Lance, good to have you here, sir. And Francis, welcome back.
Hello, my name is Francis, and I'm a 17-year-old senior at Denby High School. I plan to be a physics major and probably go to Virginia Tech.
All right, Francis, Lance, John, and Leanne, good luck with your future plans. Welcome aboard. Let's get the game underway. We'll meet the gentlemen from Lafayette High School in just a moment. Let's get some points on the board for Denby High School. 140 points possible in the first round. 6 questions, one is a two-parter. If you're ready, of course, you may confer in this first round. Let's begin. Look at your monitor and you see 3 words, of no farm. Rearrange this phrase, please, to name the dynastic family that lived not on a farm, but in the Imperial Palace in St. Petersburg until the Russian Revolution. What family was it?
Romanov.
The Romanovs, the correct answer. Next, please, a definition question. If your teacher told you to finish your homework in an expeditious manner, the word expeditious would tell you to finish it in which of these ways?
Speedily.
Speedily is the correct answer. Good for 20. Next question, please. Even though you see the Greek letter NU here, you can add English letters to it to name what Bavarian locale of the Nazi war trials that took place from 1945 to 49.
Nuremberg.
Nuremberg, the correct answer. Good for 20. Next question, Denby. 2-part, good for 40 points total. Add here what 2 household spots that complete titles of a popular children's novel and a well-known musical.
Cricket on the Hearth, Fiddler on the Roof.
Good for 40 points, 20 points each part, Denby. Correct answers. Next, an association question. Phrase maker president, professor president, school teacher president. All of these were apt terms applied to which of our chief executives who had previously been president of Princeton University?
Woodrow Wilson.
Good for 20 points. Correct answer, gentlemen and Leanne. Next, but the wheat remained. These words come from the concluding paragraph of what Frank Norris novel whose title suggests a sea creature with tentacles?
The octopus.
Go for the clue. The octopus, correct answer, and that ends round 1 for Denby High School. We'll check their score in just a moment. Now, let's meet the team from Lafayette High School. We'll begin on the inside. Josh, if you would, introduce yourself to us, please.
Hello, I'm Josh Skolnick, and I'm a junior at Lafayette.
Nice to meet you, Josh. David.
Hello, I'm David Knudsen. I'm a junior at Lafayette and captain of this year's Tidewater Challenge team.
All right, David. George.
Hello, my name is George Christopher, and I'm a junior at Lafayette.
And Daniel.
Hi, my name is Daniel Fuchs, and I'm also a junior at Lafayette.
And men, a few words. Let's get the game underway. Gentlemen, 140 points possible. 6 questions, 1 two-parter. Let's begin. Look at the monitor, please. 2 words, alter, scan. Alter the sequence of the letters in this phrase to name what English royal house that fought the War of the Roses with the rival House of York.
Windsor.
Windsor.
Lancaster is the correct answer. I'm looking for Lancaster. That's okay, gentlemen. Don't pour over it. No penalties. Next one, please. Abacus, papyrus, stylus. Of these 3 items developed in ancient cultures, which one was not used for the specific purpose of writing?
Abacus.
Abacus, of course. Next, please. Fill in single. If you put on your thinking cap, you can fill in these blanks to name which of the 7 hills of ancient Rome, now the center of the municipal government.
Capitoline.
That is the correct answer. Capitoline Hill. Now your two-parter. For 2 Shakespearean play titles, you need in the spaces here the names of what Italian city and what city in Greece, respectively, please.
Venice. Athens.
That is the correct answer. Venice and Athens. Good for 40 points. Next question, Lafayette. Association, Wheatland, his estate, Dickinson College graduate, Polk's Secretary of State. These three facts would apply to what president of the United States? A native of Pennsylvania, he preceded Lincoln in the White House.
Buchanan.
James Buchanan. Good for 20 points. Last question. A parcel of lubberly rascals. This evaluation of the crew of the HMS Bounty is attributed to what captain against whom they mutinied in 1789?
Captain Bligh.
Captain Bligh. 18 men did not mutiny. That is the correct answer. Now let's check the scores before we get into the visual round. Moving quickly, Denby High School 140 points, Lafayette 120. Time now for the visual round. 10 questions, 100-point possibility here. Also, we will subtract 10 points for incorrect answers in this particular round. You're in direct competition. Wait to be recognized by school and by name before answering. 10 visual clues. I will read the corresponding question. Are you pleased? Here is a watercolor showing part of the Sawtooth Mountains, a jagged range in what western state that also includes the Salmon River and Sun Valley?
Lafayette, David.
California.
Idaho is the correct answer. Sun Valley, Idaho was the correct answer. Next, please. A Japanese man in a Tokyo park takes his turn at what highly intellectual oriental...
Lafayette, Josh.
Go.
It's called Go. That suggests a brief command for departure. Go, the Japanese game. Next, please. Although Colonial Williamsburg had its admirers, and still does, it was generally agreed in colonial times that America's most beautiful city, shown there, was what capital of Maryland?
Danby, Francis.
Annapolis.
Annapolis, the correct answer. Next visual clue, please. What is the value of the expression shown on the monitor?
Lafayette, Daniel.
707.
That is the correct answer, Daniel. 707. The desperate fury of a cavalry battle is portrayed here by artist Mort Kunstler. During the Civil War, the Union's leading cavalry commander was what general, nicknamed...
Lafayette, David.
General George Custer.
Nicknamed Little Phil. Philip Sheridan was the answer I was looking for. Philip Sheridan. Next, please. It might look like logs, but this is actually a microscopic enlargement of human hair. A single strand of hair is described by what term that also identifies the wire or thread?
Danby, Leanne.
Follicle?
Follicle is the sac out of which hair grows. Filament was the word I was looking for, and the clue was a thread and an electric light bulb. Filament. Next visual clue, please. This stamp from Chile commemorates the 1820 voyage of Lord Cochrane, who organized Chile's navy in a successful blockade of what capital city of Peru?
Danby, Francis.
Lima.
Lima, the correct answer, Francis. Next question. An excellent hunting dog. This breed of spaniel is named for what region of France, just west of Normandy, that juts into the Atlantic Ocean? Time. I will take it, David.
Brittany.
Brittany is the correct answer. Good for 10 points. Gave him the tie. Next, please. Many fanciful English walking sticks have been carved from this type...
Danby, Lance.
You.
This type of shrub, which is what name suggesting the New England author who wrote Tanglewood Tales? It's a hawthorn bush. It's a hawthorn bush. Next, please. And last, in the visual round, this is Admiral David Farragut, the Union naval commander in the Civil War. At Mobile Bay and other battles, Farragut's flagship was what vessel named for the capital of Connecticut?
Danby, Francis.
The Hartford. Francis took the clue, and that ends round 2 for Denby and Lafayette. A fast game. Are you keeping up? Let's quickly check the scores. It is Denby 150 points, Lafayette 130 points. Time now for the listening round. Just had the visual round. Now it's time for the oral round, where correct answers are worth 10 points. Incorrect, down 10. Team members may confer with each other in this round. We have 2 listening clues provided on an alternating basis for each team. Denby, since you're going first, listen carefully to the clue. Denby, he has worked with Greek electronics wizard Vangelis, who contributed to the soundtrack of Chariots of Fire. This is what rock singer whose sweet vocals color the high-tech songs of Yes?
John Anderson. John Anderson.
Good for 10 points. The correct answer, John Anderson, J-O-N. All right, Lafayette, your first listening clue. Listen carefully, please. She's a disco diva who sang about everything from The Last Dance to plain folks working hard for their wages. This is what sensual singer who has defied critics with her self-professed Christianity?
Donna Summer.
Good for 10 points. Donna Summer, the correct answer. Denby High School, your last listening clue. Listen carefully, please.
There's no doubt.
That was the first time I saw Rita.
Baby, now you're something I can't do without.
She was the kind of dame that makes a man grateful he's a man.
Leave your
She looked like she was misunderstood. Me, I wanted to understand her. Like I've never understood any woman before. Come to think of it, I never have understood any woman before.
You're just going to watch or you plan to use that thing?
A perfect evocation of the 1940s film noir. This is what current light-hearted detective television series starring Bruce Willis, which went against industry practice by broadcasting an episode in black and white?
Moonlighting.
That is the correct answer, with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd really picking up the ratings these days. Lafayette, your last listening clue. Listen carefully.
Okay, Joan Wilder, write us out of this one.
John Wilder? John Wilder? This John Wilder? You are John Wilder, the novelist? Yes, I am. I read your book. I read all your books. Come in. Esta es Juanita Wilder, la que escribe las novelas que le leo los sábados.
Giving its stars a chance to explore their comedic talents. This is what 1984 action-adventure film, which has since spawned a sequel set along Africa's longest river?
Romancing the Stone.
Starring Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, the sequel, Jewel of the Nile, the correct answer. Good for 10 points. Well, we're really moving along. We have a lot of questions to go. Let's quickly take a halftime break, introduce you to the coaches, the alternates, learn something about Denby and Lafayette High Schools. We'll begin with a look at Denby High School.
Denby High School, home of the Patriots, is located on the Virginia Peninsula in Newport News. Our principal, Mr. Stanley Lovett, is perhaps the most deserving of the credit for keeping Denby one of the foremost schools in our region. Academic achievement is seen from the many awards given to students, as well as in student participation in Model United Nations, Model Congress, essay, science and math contests, and language conventions. In addition to academics, Denby offers extracurricular activities ranging from sports, special interest clubs, band, Army ROTC, to a German exchange program. Through their academic excellence in myriad activities, Denby and its outstanding faculty maintain the Patriot tradition of preserving what is good from the past, yet looking toward the future with resourcefulness.
There we have Denby High School, and now I'd like to introduce you to one of the coaches and faculty advisors for the Denby squad. Standing for the team is Ms. Fran Topping. We'd also like to thank Mr. Dale Hargrave. Thank you very much for your efforts, coaches. And John, if you would introduce your alternates, please.
All right, Fred Jacob, Matthew Keston, and Seth Pilgrim are alternates.
All right, thank you, John. Now we turn our attention to Lafayette High School and introduce you to their coach and faculty advisor. That is Ms. Janet Fuchs. Thank you very much for your efforts. And David, if you would.
We have John Randolph, David Lee, and Paul Crayful. We'd also like to express our thanks and appreciation to Miss Thompson, who drove us up here today.
All right, David, and everything okay back there? Big sneeze. Let's take a look at Lafayette High School. We'll be back for the category round.
Lafayette High School in Williamsburg offers a wide range of courses to prepare its students for college, for jobs in business, and for entry into the trades. Lafayette has recently added computer science classes and is expanding laboratory facilities. Artistic and athletic talents of Lafayette students are channeled into performance in music and drama and competition in sports such as football and field hockey. Lafayette's success comes from the work of industrious administrators and teachers who, under the guidance of Principal Ward Ellis, devote their time educating young men and women.
So we have a look at Denby and Lafayette High School. Now let's get back to competition. 3 more rounds to go, a lot of questions, a lot of ground to cover. Let's quickly check the scores. In the first half, it is Denby 170, Lafayette 150. Time now for the category round. In this round, correct answers are worth 10 points, incorrect answers down 10. 12 questions in this round, 120 points possible. Remember, you're in direct competition, so wait to be recognized by school and by name before answering the question. You'll see the clue on the monitor. I will also read it to you. Any discussion of minority groups might include those persons who are left-handed. I want you to identify the following persons, notable, I may add, each of whom is or was a lefty caught in our right-handed world. So if you're ready, let's begin, please. Number 1, 20th President of the USA, elected 1880.
Denby Francis.
James Garfield.
Garfield, the correct answer. Number 2, author of Alice in Wonderland.
Denby Lance.
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll, the correct answer, or Charles Dodgson. Number 3, colonial statesman, scientist, printer.
Lafayette Josh.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, the correct answer, Josh. Number 4, Boston baseball hero, last to bat
Lafayette
400.
David.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, the correct answer, David. Number 5, New York governor, U.S. vice president, 1974 to 77.
Lafayette David.
Rockefeller.
Nelson Rockefeller, the correct answer. Number 6, French mime whose characters include...
Lafayette Josh.
Marcel Marceau.
That is the correct answer, Marcel Marceau. Number 7, defense attorney at Scopes Monkey
Denby
Trial.
Lance.
Debs.
Incorrect, Clarence Darrow. Clarence Darrow. Number 8, please, men's tennis champion at Wimbledon, 1984.
Denby Leanne.
McEnroe.
John McEnroe, the correct answer. Number 9, basketball coach at University of Maryland.
Denby Francis.
Lefty Drizel.
That is the correct answer, Lefty Drizel. Number 10, British king, father of Elizabeth II.
Denby Leanne.
George.
George is the 6th, is the correct answer. Good for 10 points. Number 11, 20th century Spanish artist.
Denby Lance.
Picasso, the correct answer. And number 12, blonde U.S. actor. Films include The Natural.
Lafayette Josh.
Robert Redford.
Redford, the correct answer. That ends the category round. Only one incorrect. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Before we get ready for round 5, let's quickly check the scores and see where we stand. At this point, it is Denby 220, Lafayette 200, nip and tuck all the way. In this round, correct answers are worth 20 points. Incorrect answers, down 20. And this round only, team members are allowed to pass a question to the opposing team. Now, if they pass, we'll only subtract 10 points from the overall score, and the other team may get the opportunity to answer at the end of 2 minutes, which is how long this round is timed for. Now, in this round, again, team members may confer. I have a packet of questions, 3 of them. Actually, since Denby is going first, David, would you pick a packet of questions, 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. We have 10 questions in this packet for Leanne, John, Lance, and Francis. You see the clock in the corner of your monitor. Be aware of that as we back time from 2 minutes. Are you ready? All right, let's begin. Florence is located on Italy's Arno River, as is what other Italian city noted for its leaning tower?
Pisa.
Pisa, the correct answer. The famed Henley Rowing Regatta, which originated in 1837, takes place on what river that flows through London?
Thames.
The Thames, the correct answer. To read Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks in the original, you wouldn't need a magnifying glass, but you would need what object made of glass?
A mirror.
A mirror is the correct answer, as Da Vinci often wrote backwards. If the number of pupils in a class decreases from 35 to 28, what is the percent of decrease?
20%.
20%, the correct answer. It's said that talk is cheap, but it costs the taxpayers hundreds of dollars per page to reproduce the talk of senators and representatives in what daily printed record?
Congressional record.
That is the correct answer. There was no suicide hotline in ancient Carthage to keep the legendary Dido from killing herself when she was abandoned by what Virgil hero?
Aeneas.
That is the correct answer, Aeneas. Choice question. In 1869, the Russian chemist Mendeleev arranged a fairly accurate periodic table of the elements based on periodic functions of their atomic weight, atomic number, or volume.
Number.
Is incorrect. Weight. Weight. A tabletop is 36 inches by 52 inches. How many square feet of glass will it take to cover it?
$12 3/4.
13 is the correct answer. One of the oddest book titles in recent years. Him with His Foot in His Mouth is the work of what Nobel Prize winner who also wrote The Adventures of Augie March?
Pass.
Pass, down 10. In an attempt to rectify what was called a century of dishonor, American Indians were granted citizenship under what 1887 bill or act?
Dawes Act.
Good for you. 20 points, the correct answer, Dawes Act. And we had, did we have a pass question? Did we have a pass? Yes, okay. Do you wish to answer it? It was Saul Bellow, wasn't it? Saul Bellow, was that the title of the book we were looking for? Yes. All right, and that ends round 5. right, take a breath. And John, if you would, pick a packet of questions, 1 or 3 for Lafayette.
3.
Packet 3, 10 questions, 2 minutes. Josh, David, George, and Daniel. You ready, gentlemen? You see the clock in the corner of your monitor. Let's begin. Most cities have a mayor, but the highest municipal officer of Tokyo has what title that suggests the head of one of our 50 states?
Governor.
Governor is the correct answer. Stamp collectors will be intrigued to learn that a British 29 pence stamp pictures what insect whose name also suggests a British national game?
Cricket.
Cricket, of course. Washington, D.C. has hot summer weather, but the temperature is kept at 60 degrees Fahrenheit year-round in the National Zoo home of what animals from China?
Panda bears.
Panda bears, the giant pandas. 3 is to 2, as 12 is to what number?
8.
8, the correct answer. Prairie schooner was a nickname for what type of 19th century covered wagon, taking its name from the Pennsylvania Valley where it was built?
Conestoga wagon.
Conestoga wagon, correct answer. Choice question. Long-chained molecules made of polymerized alpha amino acids linked by peptide bonds are proteins, ketones, or lipids?
Lipids.
Protein. December 1st, 1985 was the 30th anniversary of what civil Montgomery, Alabama, that was sparked by the arrest of Mrs. Rosa Parks?
Bus boycott.
Bus boycott, correct answer. If the circumference of a circle is 16 pi feet, what is the area of the circle in pi square feet?
$64 pi
64 pi square feet, correct. Hugging the Shore is a recent collection of essays by what American writer who won the 1982 Pulitzer Prize for his novel Rabbit is Rich, one of his 3 novels about Harry Rabbit Angstrom? Updike, the correct answer. A poll of polls in Poland would probably show that the country's most popular composer is what 19th century musician who wrote the Minute Waltz?
Chopin.
The correct answer. Good for 20 points and almost a perfect round. Only 1 miss, Lafayette. Now let's quickly check the scores before we go to the final round. It is Denby, 310 points, Lafayette, 360. And time now for the final round, the grab bag round, where correct answers are worth 20 points. Incorrect answers, down 20. 25 questions total in this round. If I finish reading all 25 before the end of the game, that's it for the end of the game. There are only 25 questions, as you know. If I do not finish, you'll hear this sound. That signifies the end of the game. If you've blocked in your light, you have to answer the question. Are you ready? No conferring in this round, and please wait to be recognized by school and by name. You know what it costs you if you don't. Are you ready? Let's begin. Although Marceline, Missouri, was named by an early settler, the town now has a swimming pool named for what former inhabitant who created Mickey Mouse?
Lafayette Daniel.
Disney.
Walt Disney, the correct answer. The Cape Cod Peninsula has only one protected deep site and namesake of what noted oceanographic institution?
Lafayette Josh.
Woods Hole.
Woods Hole, the correct answer. A science fiction work entitled Contact has been written by what astronomer?
Lafayette David.
Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan, the correct answer. In his novel Maggie, A Girl of the Streets.
Danby Leanne.
Stephen.
I'll save you. Stephen Crane gave Maggie what common last name, also shared by our 17th and 36th presidents? Johnson was what I was looking for. Although many teams have good pitchers, the only major league club to have 3 pitchers strike out 200 or more batters in one season is what team in Houston?
Danby Francis.
Astros.
The Astros, Francis, correct. Choice question. An electric light bulb expends an electric light bulb expends 100 watts for 10 seconds. What energy is used? 10 calories, 100 watts, or 1,000 joules?
Danby Lance.
1,000 joules.
The correct answer, Lance. Emily Dickinson claimed that she had never seen a moor, but what other literary Emily lived almost her entire life on the moor where she wrote?
Danby Lance.
Emily Bronte.
Wuthering Heights, the correct answer. Excluding 1, what is the smallest prime factor of 45?
Lafayette George.
3.
3, the correct answer. Vermont has the Connecticut River on its eastern border, but its western border includes what large lake named for a French?
Lafayette David.
Lake Champlain.
Champlain, the correct answer. New health warnings on U.S. cigarette packages mention that burning cigarettes produce what harmful gas?
Lafayette Josh.
Carbon monoxide.
That is the correct answer, carbon monoxide. One of the earliest English cookbooks, The Good Housewife's Handmaid, was the work of what man, whose name suggests a game bird that a Christmas song places in a pear tree?
Lafayette George.
Partridge. It was John Partridge, the correct answer. During the Civil War, loyal Union officers tried to maintain what Texas fort that now names a...
Denby Lands.
The Alamo.
That now names a major Texas city west of Dallas-Fort Worth. Choice: if you could travel to the surface of the planet Mars, should you expect the average daily temperature there to be nearest 200 degrees, minus 10 degrees, or minus...
Lafayette Josh.
Minus 10.
Minus 10 degrees, the correct answer. French agents who in 1797 tried to extort bribes from American diplomats.
Denby Lands.
XYZ affair.
The XYZ, exactly. Those are the letters I'm looking for. Founded in 1496, the oldest city established by Europeans in the New World is what present-day capital...
Denby Francis.
Florida.
Of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. A source of hydroxide ions in aqueous solutions, or more generally, a proton acceptor, is an acid, a base...
Lafayette George.
Base.
A base or a salt. Base is the correct answer. If a pole 24 feet high casts a shadow that is 36 feet long, how long is a pole that casts a 15-foot shadow?
Denby Lands.
22 and a half.
10 feet. 10 feet was the answer. The Blue Mosque is one of Istanbul's finest, but the mosque with the longest history in that city is what one that, though now a museum, was built as a church by Justinian. Time. Hagia Sophia was the correct answer. My One and Only titles a recent musical production, but if Beethoven were alive, he might apply the phrase to what one and only opera he produced. Time. Fidelio. Fidelio, his only opera. In his 1858 debates with Lincoln, Stephen Douglas developed what's so-called doctrine, named for the Illinois town where the two senatorial candidates had a crucial debate. Time again. That's the end of the game. Freeport Doctrine was the right answer. Freeport. A lot of questions in that game. While we make sure that the scores are correct and that we have no questions, we would like to remind you that next week on Tidewater Challenge, it will be Green Run High School competing against reigning champs Poquoson High School.
Scholarship funds for Tidewater Challenge are provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, Virginia Beach and Norfolk's largest independent bank with 7 convenient locations. Our children and our community are our greatest concern.
And Don, are the scores correct?
They are, Ed.
All right. The final score for this round of Tidewater Challenge is Denby High School 310 points, Lafayette 540 points. Good match. Leanne, John, Lance, and Francis. Round of applause for the Denby High School squad. Made it to third round competition. Of course, picked up some scholarship money along the way for the school. Good luck with your future plans, all of you, and we hope to see a team from Denby High School back next year. Thanks a lot. Good game. Now we turn to Lafayette High School. Daniel, George, David, Josh. You'll be back very soon for fourth round competition as you continue to work toward the championship. Of course, you've been picking up scholarship money along the way as provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, as our announcer told us a moment ago. Congratulations for your victory this evening, and we'll see you back very soon as we continue on with Tidewater Challenge. From all of us, thanks for watching. See you next week. Now come on down and congratulate the players. Presentation of Tidewater Challenge on Channel 15 is made possible in part by grants from Coca-Cola, Coke is it, and Farm Fresh supermarkets and super saving centers, who encourage you to tell a friend about Tidewater Challenge.
Tidewater Challenge. Now here's your host, Ed Tiller.
Good evening and welcome to Tidewater Challenge. We want to welcome the squad from Denby High School and Tabb High School as we continue first round competition of the 1986-87 Tidewater Challenge.
Before the game, we tossed a coin to see who would go first. Denby High School won that toss, and now let's introduce you to the squad. From Denby, beginning on the outside, Leanne, if you would introduce yourself. Welcome back to Tidewater Challenge.
Hi, my name is Leanne, and I'm a junior at Denby High School. This past summer, I attended Governor's School, and I'm currently vice president of my class, and I'm involved in Kietz and Model United Nations. After graduation, I would like to attend Duke University and pursue a career in law.
All right, Leanne, good to have you here, and welcome back. Lance, welcome back, too.
Hello, Ed. I'm Lance. I'm a senior at Denby High School. I'm the vice president of the Latin Club. I participate in Model UN in the National Honor Society, and I also run track and play golf.
All right.
I'd like to attend West Point.
West Point, good. Let's finish it up. James, welcome.
Hello, my name is James Smith, and I'm a senior at Denby High School. I enjoy participation in activities such as the Social Studies Club, Model United Nations, and the Debate Club. And after graduation, I'd like to go to Georgetown University and pursue a degree in international relations.
All right, James, good to have you here to Tidewater Challenge. First time on the show. And Fred, an alternate from last year, welcome.
Hi, my name is Fred Jacob. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Denby. Aside from Tidewater Challenge, I'm in Social Studies Club, Science Club, Model UN, and National Honor Society. After I graduate, I'd like to attend Brandeis University and major in law or political sciences.
Okay, Fred, James, Lance, and Leanne, let's get the game underway. We'll meet the team from TAB in just a moment, but it's time to score some points for Denby High School. All right, Denby, you know the rules. 20 points, no penalties in the first round. You may confer 6 questions, 140 points possible because we have that one two-part question. Are you ready? Let's begin. Look at your monitor, please. 2 words, Peking doles. This phrase might suggest Chinese welfare payments, but really the letters can be rearranged to name what ceremonial object that was hammered in at the wetting of the rails to complete the Union Pacific Railroad in 1869.
Golden spike.
Golden spike, correct. Good for 20 points. Next question. These are Latin words meaning death, noon, and war. What 4-letter prefix will change them into words used today for before death, before noon, and before war?
Ante.
Ante, A-N-T-E, the correct answer. Good for 20 points, Denby. Next question. This Albert was a Confederate general. What name did he share with explorer Zebulon?
Pike.
Pike, the correct answer. Good for another 20 points. Next, please. This is your 2-part question. Among the merry men who figure in the stories of Robin Hood are what 2 individuals who served in these 2 capacities? First, Robin Hood's chaplain. What was his name? And secondly, the name of Robin Hood's minstrel.
First one is Little John.
That is incorrect. The first one is Friar Tuck, was Robin Hood's chaplain.
Second one is Little John.
The second one is Alan Adale, was his name. Alan Adale, no points, but no penalties, Denby. Moving on. Which of the states seen here officially describes itself as a commonwealth rather than a state?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, the correct answer. The other one being Virginia. Next, please. This is the literal meaning of what Welsh name that was born by the 20th century Welsh poet, Mr. Thomas, who wrote, "Do not go gentle into that good night."
His first name.
Dylan.
Dylan Thomas, the correct answer. Good for 20 points, and that ends round 1 for Denby. Now let's meet the squad from TAB High School, some return players to Tidewater Challenge, and if you will, Dean, begin by introducing yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Dean Cowan. I'm a 14-year-old sophomore at TAB High School. I'm a member of the York County Youth Commission, the Extend Program, the Future Business Leaders of America, and the Student Council. Upon graduation, I plan to pursue a career in medicine at Georgetown University.
All right, Dean, good to have you here. Stacy, welcome back to Tidewater Challenge.
Thanks. Hello, I'm Stacy Bailey. I'm a 16-year-old junior at TAB High School. I'm involved in several activities, including Bethel Baptist Church and its youth group, forensics, extend, and ballet. I've lettered in debate and academics and hope to attend Duke University upon graduation.
All right, Stacy, welcome back. And Jimmy, welcome back to the game.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jimmy Fazenbaker. I'm a 16-year-old junior at TAB High School. I'm a member of the National Spanish Honor Society and FBLA. I've been a member of the Extend program for the past 8 years. And at this time, I have no definite post-graduation plans.
All right, Jimmy, welcome back. And Ryan, welcome to Tidewater
Thank
Challenge.
You. My name is Ryan Sword, and I'm a 15-year-old sophomore at TAB High. I'm on the debate team, and I like sports such as golf and tennis. I have no definite career plans at this time.
All right, Ryan, Jimmy, Stacy, and Dean, let's get the game underway. We've met the team. Let's get some points on the board for TAB High School. Again, correct answers, 20 points, no penalties. Team members may confer, and of course, we have 140 points possible in this round. Are you ready? Look at your monitor. 3 words, no, cattle, in. By rearranging the letters in this phrase, you can name what early Congress where a lot of political horse trading went on during the American Revolution.
Continental?
Continental, the correct answer. Continental Congress. Good for 20 points. Next, please. You see 3 words, espionage, culture, and pain. What 7-letter prefix meaning against comes before these words to have them mean, respectively, an action to thwart enemy spies, a lifestyle opposed to the norm, and oddly enough, a bedspread?
Counter.
Counter espionage, counterculture, counterpain. The correct answer, good for 20 points. Next, last name. These first names must be followed by what same last name to identify Tom Sawyer's girlfriend of old and England's current Prime Minister?
Thatcher.
Becky Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, good for 20 points. Here's your 2-parter, good for 40 points. These Polish people went abroad near the turn of the century and assumed what new last names? They're known as the discoverer of radium first and the author of Lord Jim second.
First is Curie,
That is the correct answer, Marie Curie.
and the second is Conrad.
Joseph Conrad, the correct answer, good for 40 points, Tab High School. Moving on. Had today's investigative reporters lived in the days of Theodore Roosevelt, which of these terms would we probably have used to describe him?
Muckraker.
A muckraker, the correct answer, good for another 20 points. And the last question, name meaning noble and kind. These words give you the meaning of the name and also a clue to the character of what fictional Swiss girl who lives in the Alps with her grandfather?
Heidi.
Heidi, the correct answer, and that ends round 1 for Tab. Now, before we go on to the visual round, let's check the scores. It is now Denby High School 100 points, Tab High School 140, and it's time now for the round where we provide the visual clue and the question, and they provide the answer. Up or down, 10 points. You're in direct competition, so remember, wait to be recognized by school and by name before you answer the question, schools. No conferring with teammates. If you're ready, let's begin. First visual clue, please. The resort of Laguna Beach in California is located between Los Angeles and what southernmost large California city home to the Padres baseball team?
Denby, Lance.
San Diego.
San Diego took the clue. Good for 10 points. The correct answer, Lance. Next, launched to observe Venus and Mercury in 1973. This U.S. space probe had what name suggesting the ancient fellow who shoots an albatross in a poem?
Denby, Lance.
Mariner.
Mariner was the name of it, the poem by Coleridge. Correct answer. Next visual clue, please. This February fishing festival might cause some anglers to carp since they can catch fish for only 45 minutes. When this annual festival is held in what African country whose capital is Lagos?
Denby, James.
Nigeria.
Nigeria, the correct answer, James. Good for 10 points. Next question, please. Reduce the fraction shown to its lowest terms, and you will have what integer?
Denby, Lance.
2.
2 is the correct answer, Lance. This is an illustration of what New Testament parable in which a compassionate...
Tab, Stacy.
The Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, Stacy, is the correct answer. Compassionate character aids a man injured by thieves. Next, the crenellated walls and geometric gardens shown here are part of what famous Moorish fortress in the Spanish city of Granada?
Tab, Stacy.
Alhambra.
That is the correct answer, Stacy. Alhambra. Next, these flowers are named for the fancied resemblance to what sort of medieval cross associated with a Mediterranean island? Long...
Tab, Stacy.
The Maltese.
Maltese cross, the correct answer, Cross of Malta. Next, please, this sculpture entitled Bather was the work of Jacques Lipchitz, a native of what Baltic republic that, along with Latvia and Estonia, was annexed?
Denby, Leanne.
Lithuania.
By the Soviet Union. Lithuania, the correct answer, good for 10 points. Next visual clue. The Civil War also included diplomatic tangles with European powers. Our slide shows what affair in which Confederate officials were removed from a British steamer. Time. That was the Trent Affair. The Trent Affair. Next and last visual clue, please. On your monitor, you see part of the garden at Oak Hill, where what 5th president had his home?
Denby, Fred.
Monroe.
James Monroe, the correct answer, and that ends the visual round for both teams. Let's look at the scores before we go on to the listening round and see where we stand. Denby High School 160 points, Tab High School 170 points. Time now for the oral round. the listening round, where we will provide listening clues, and hopefully they will provide the answers to the questions. Denby High School, you know the rules, up or down 10 points. You're making first. Since you're going first, here is your first listening clue. Denby, after scoring a hit with the song Robert De Niro's Waiting, and this is what female British pop threesome, back with a successful remake of the song Venus, originally recorded by the Dutch group Shocking Blue?
Bananarama.
Bananarama, the correct answer, good for 10 points. Great name. Tab, your first listening clue. Listen carefully. Tab. A new outrageous British group called Doctor and Nurse has hit it big with what song, written and sung by Norman Greenbaum, that was a hit in the early 70s?
Spirit in the Sky?
That is the correct answer, Stacy. Spirit in the Sky, good for 10 points. Both of those songs were hits when I was your age. Now they're remade. Last listening clue, Denby, listen carefully.
Lovely party the Vice President is giving. Ah, good old Vice. Shoot the chassis to me, lassie.
Your name?
Oh, you remember me. The girls call me Pilgrim. Because every time I dance with one, I make a little progress.
You may be a pilgrim, but I can see you're no Puritan.
Denby. Born in England and one of the world's busiest entertainers, this is what comedian who made 7 memorable road pictures with Bing Crosby and Dorothy Lamour?
Bob Hope.
That is the correct answer, Bob Hope. Good for 10 points. All right, Tab, your last listening clue. Listen carefully.
Do another one. What is it? Got a big black mustache. Smokes a big black cigar, and he's a big pain in the neck.
Now, don't tell me. Has a big black mustache, smokes a big black cigar, and there's a big pain in the... Does he wear glasses?
That's right. You guess it quick.
Just for that, you don't get the job I was going to give you.
What job?
Carl may not have been among them, but Leonard, Adolf, and Julius were there. We heard 2 of what anarchic trio of brothers whose zany comedies were a staple for the film going public in the 1930s?
The Marx Brothers.
The Marx Brothers. Good for 10 points, and a perfect listening round is completed. We'll check the scores from Denby and Tab in just a moment, but we want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the coaches and the alternates and learn something about the schools, and we'll begin with a look at Denby High School.
Denby High School, home of the Patriots, is located in northern Newport News. Our school's reputation for academic excellence is maintained by the faculty and staff, headed by our principal, Mr. Stanley Lovett. In addition to academics, Denby's students participate in a wide range of activities, including Model Congress, Model United Nations, science and math contests, and a German exchange program. Denby also has a strong athletic program, led by our championship basketball team. Denby is a AAA school. Through academics, athletics, and activities, we maintain the Patriot tradition of preserving what is best from the past while preparing ourselves for the future.
And there's a look at Denby High School. Now let's introduce you to the coach, one of the coaches for the Denby squad, Ms. Fran Topping. Also, we want to thank Mr. Dale Hargrave for his efforts. Lance, if you would introduce your alternates, please.
All right, our alternates this year are Seth Pilgrim on my right, Matthew Keston on my left, Jonathan Stalls and Scott Mary, also to my left, and we'd also like to mention Brad Wood, who works with the team.
All right, thank you very much. Now we turn our attention to Tab High School and introduce you to their coach, Ms. Linda McLean. We would also like to thank Mr. Levi and Mrs. Talafsky. Did I get it right? Good. Thank you very much for your efforts. And Stacy, if you would introduce your alternates, please.
Okay, starting from our right, we have Chris Linthwaite, Andrew Liu, Kevin Kittrell, and Chris Easley.
All right. We'll take a look at Tab High School, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Tab High School is located at the end of Big Bethel Road in historic York County, just a few miles from Hampton and Newport News. It first opened its doors to students in 1972. The school has 1,120 pupils enrolled under the leadership of Mr. James W. Carmines, principal. Students proudly refer to TAB as the School of Champions as they reach out for excellence in academics, athletics, and varied extracurricular activities. The spirit of the Tiger encourages each student to strive for individual, realistic goals.
And the TAB and Denby videos were produced by the students at those schools, and now it's time to get back to second half competition. Let's check the scores. After 3 rounds, Denby High School has 180 points, TAB has 190. It's time now for the category round. In this round, correct answers are worth 10 points, incorrect down 10. And this category round, as all category rounds, has 12 questions, 12 clues. You will see them visually on the monitor, and I will also be reading them to you. Bear in mind that you're in direct competition. There's no conferring. Of course, wait to be recognized by school and by name. At New Year's time, it's always appropriate to ring out the old and ring in the new, but before we do so, let's play a last farewell, or pay a last farewell to these things that are associated with the word old. See if you can identify these persons, places, and things which have the word old in their names or nicknames. Old is the key word here. If you're ready, let's begin. Number 1, please, the United States flag.
Tab, Stacy.
Old Glory.
Old Glory, correct answer, Stace. Number 2, General Winfield Scott's nickname. Time. Old Fussin' Feathers was his nickname. Next, please, Hemingway novelette about Cuban fishermen.
Denby, James.
The Old Man in the Sea.
The Old Man in the Sea, the correct answer, James. Number 4, nickname for our state.
Denby, James.
Old Dominion.
Old Dominion, correct answer, good for 10 points. Next, please, pen name for Washington Irving.
Denby, Leanne.
Jonathan Oldstyle was the name, Jonathan Oldstyle. Hadn't heard of that myself. Chief Criminal Court of London.
Tab, Ryan.
Old Bailey.
Old Bailey, the correct answer. Number 7, Stephen Foster song, sometimes called Swanee River.
Denby, Fred.
Old Man River.
No, Old Folks at Home is the correct answer, Old Folks at Home. Number 8, popular name for USS Constitution.
Denby, Lance.
Old Ironsides.
Old Ironsides, the correct answer. Number 9, Arnold Bennett novel about Baines sisters. Time, Old Wives' Tale is the correct answer. Number 10, Boston church whose lanterns signaled Paul Revere.
Denby, Lance.
Old North Church.
Old North Church, correct, Lance. Nickname for Mississippi River.
Denby, Lance.
The Old Man.
Old Man River, there it is, Fred. Next, please, best known nickname for Zachary Taylor.
Denby, Lance.
Old Blood and Guts.
No, Old Rough and Ready. Old Rough and Ready was his name, and that ends the category round. The old category round is now over. Let's check the scores. Following those 12 questions, it is Denby 200, Tab 210. And it's time now for the timed round. Round number 5, where correct answers are worth 20 points, incorrect down 20 points. Team members in this round may pass a question. If they pass a question to the opposing team, at the end of 2 minutes, that team can answer the question and earn 20 points or decline. It doesn't matter, but we will subtract 10 points from the team that passes. 10 questions, all 10 answered correctly earns a 25-point bonus. So since Denby is going first, I will have Stacy from Tab pick a packet of questions, 1, 2, or 3, please.
3.
Packet number 3. For Leanne, Lance, James, and Fred. You see the clock in the corner of the monitor. That will be back timing to 0 so you can keep track of your time. Are you ready? Today's children are less familiar with Mary's Little Lamb than with Big Bird, who appears on what educational television series?
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street, of course. The bowline or bow line, the slip noose, and the fisherman's bend are all kinds of boats, knots, or signals?
Knots.
Knots, correct answer. You would actually be on level ground when traveling across what vast Russian plains whose name suggests that they go up and down?
Pass.
Pass. What is the value of the expression 1/2 to the -2 power?
4.
4 is the correct answer. Upon first crossing the equator, a traveler is initiated into the ancient order of shellbacks by the sea god also found in the sky as what faraway planet?
Neptune.
Neptune, correct answer. Which one of the following enzymes is essential in the clotting of blood? Lactase, pepsin, or thrombin?
Lactase.
Thrombin is the correct answer. The Treaty of Paris ended the American Revolution, but what city of Belgium named the treaty that ended the War of 1812?
Treaty of Ghent.
Ghent, correct answer. In an election, the winner received, this is math, in an election, the winner received 5,000 more votes than his opponent. A total of 24,000 votes were cast. How many people voted for the winner?
$15,000.
14,500 is the correct answer. Charles Dickens was said to be portraying his own father when he created what poverty-stricken but optimistic character in David Copperfield?
Mr. Micawber.
Micawber, correct answer. President McKinley might have been called a marked man since his political manager was what man whose first name was Mark? Answer or pass?
Pass.
Pass, down 10. All right. 2 pass questions tab. Do you wish to give either a try?
No, we don't.
The question about the vast Russian plains, they're steppes. And the next was Mark Hanna. That was his political manager, and that ends round 5 for Denver. Now it's time for a tab. If, Lance, you would pick a packet of questions, 1 or 2. Packet number 1 for Dean, Stacy, Jimmy, and Ryan. 2 minutes total. You know how to play the game. If you're ready, let's begin. If, as the saying goes, love is blind, then a seeing eye Cerberus might have guided the arrows of what winged classical god of love?
Cupid.
Cupid, or Eros, the correct answer. Next, the Bridge of Sighs, linking the Doge Palace and the local prison, makes a big splash with tourists in what watery Italian city?
Venice.
Venice, correct. Were you to jointly honor Diogenes and Florence Nightingale, you might call upon Aladdin to produce what bright object associated with all 3?
A lamp.
Lamp, the correct answer. Math. If a rectangle is 36 inches long and 24 inches wide, what is its area in square feet?
Six square feet.
6, correct answer. During the Napoleonic Wars, English press gangs were not newsmen, but recruiters, forcing men primarily into what military branch?
Infantry.
Navy was the correct answer. Navy. Next question. The involuntarily controlled muscles of our digestive organs are called smooth, striated, or sphincter muscles?
Smooth.
Smooth, correct answer. Diego Garcia is not a conquistador, but an island in what heart-shaped ocean that includes the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal?
Indian.
Indian Ocean is the correct answer. What is the last digit of the 4th power of 23?
One.
1, the correct answer. Although they had various nicknames, by what 3-syllable formal given name would you have called Heathcliff's love and Petruchio's shrew?
Catherine.
Catherine, correct answer. Although he ruled only the English Midlands, the Anglo-Saxon king Penda claimed direct descent from what chief of the Norse gods?
Odin.
Odin is the correct answer, or Woden, and that ends round 5 for Tab High School. Now let's check the scores before we go on to the final and grab bag round. It is now Denby High School 260 points, Tab High School 370 points. In the final round, correct answers again are worth 20 points. Incorrect answers down 20 points. And team members, of course, you're in direct competition, so there's no conferring. Remember, wait to be recognized by school and by name. You'll hear this sound. It signifies the end of the game. Just as in that last round, if you've locked in your light, you have to answer the question. There are 25 questions in this round. If we have time for all 25, that will be the end of the game when we ask all 25. Are you ready? Let's begin. Bears play football in Chicago, but under what bear-like name do hockey players compete in Boston?
Tab, Ryan.
Bruins.
Bruins, the correct answer. You might find an old Latin coin in Rome, but a Latin quarter on the left bank of the Seine in what city?
Tab, Stacy.
Paris.
Paris, the correct answer. A gardener might envy the green thumb of mythology's Ceres, but a stock market speculator would more likely covet the golden touch of what legendary king?
Tab, Ryan.
Midas.
Midas of Phrygia, that is the correct answer. As unlikely as it seems, one hot item among today's collectors is what kind of wire invented by Joseph Glidden?
Denby, Fred.
Barbed wire.
Barbed wire in 1873, correct answer. What is the next highest cube of a whole number after 64?
Tab, Dean.
81.
125 is the correct answer. Calcium chloride is often used in the laboratory as a drying agent, an anti-foaming agent, or a wetting agent.
Denby, Lance.
Drying agent.
Drying agent, correct answer. When he said, alia jacta est, meaning the die is cast.
Denby, Lance.
Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon.
That is the correct answer. The Rubicon is the correct answer. Days of Encounter is the subtitle of a new biography of what New England transcendentalist who spent days writing essays such as Self-Reliance?
Denby, Lance.
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Emerson, the correct answer. There is no book of David in the Bible, but David is credited with composing many beautiful verses.
Tab, Stacy.
Psalms.
In Psalms, the correct answer. One Reconstruction slogan, never fulfilled, offered freed men a mule and how many acres of land, equal to the number of thieves bested by Ali Baba?
Denby, Leanne.
40.
40, correct answer. A successful unreturned tennis serve shares what name?
Tab, Stacy.
Ace.
With an ace. Ace is the correct answer. The constellation Orion wears a belt of stars, but in the North Star state of Minnesota, what kind of mineral belt extends through the Mesabi Range?
Denby, Lance.
Iron.
Iron, the correct answer. What is the smallest square greater than 55?
Tab, Jimmy.
64.
64 is the correct answer, 8 squared. Our sense of the pitch of a sound wave is determined primarily by which of these? Wave frequency, wave amplitude, or wave diffraction?
Denby, Lance.
Wave frequency.
Frequency is the correct answer, and that ends the game. We ran out of time. While our judges are making sure that the final score is correct, nip and tuck the whole way toward the last round, I would like to remind you that next week on Tidewater Challenge, it will be the last game in round 1 competition before we move on to round 2, and it will be Cox High School competing against the team from Western Branch High School.
Scholarship funds for Tidewater Challenge are provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, Virginia Beach and Norfolk's largest independent bank with 7 convenient locations. Our children and our community are our greatest concern.
And does everything check out on the score, Don?
It does. A good game. The score is correct.
And the final score is Denby High School 400 points, Tab High School 470 points. Good match. Leanne, Lance, James, and Fred, I thought you were staging a comeback there for a moment. Got a little low in the 5th round and started on the way back. It was nip and tuck. Of course, in order to get this far in Tidewater Challenge, Denby High School had to compete against some 20, had to beat out about 20 other area high schools on Tidewater Challenge ODU Day back in September. So that's a feat in itself. Congratulations, Denby. Good game. And now we turn to Tab High School and say, Ryan, Jimmy, Stacy, Dean, you'll be back for second round competition, which starts pretty soon. And we look forward to seeing you back. Keep studying between now and then and see how far you can advance. Of course, as you move ahead on Tidewater Challenge, you pick up scholarship money. It's provided by Bank of the Commonwealth, and we want to thank them for their support as well. From all of us at WHRO, we'll see you next week. Last game of round 1 competition. We'll see you then. Good night. Now come on down and congratulate the players.